Welcome to Referral Roadmap, real talk and real strategies. This podcast is dedicated to helping you unleash your personal and business revenue potential by cultivating referral relationships. In this 10-part series, we'll dive deep into the fascinating world of mindset, exploring how it impacts our business, sales, and honestly, every aspect of our lives, and how we can harness its power to achieve success. On this week's episode, we'll be discussing why mindset matters with your host, Athena Captain.
I am so excited to be here. Woo! Thank you, Jada, for that. And you guys, let me just introduce my co-host here. So Jada Captain is not only, she is the president of Athena Captain Industries, who so excited that she could be here. But more than that, she is also a woman who is challenging herself in business, challenging herself personally, and is a voice of reason. So I'm so excited that she's going to be here and that she will be able to add so much of her ability and her mindset and her talent to us. And the other thing, you guys, is she kind of knows me a little bit. And so because of that, she may call me out and we'll have some fun banter. So I hope it's fun for you. But I want to start out with a story. I think stories are good, right, Jada?
Absolutely. I love a good story.
I do too. So we're talking about mindset in this series, and I really want to talk about two different stories of clients that I've had, coaching clients. And one of them, she was in real estate, and I just adore her. And she didn't believe that she could be good in sales. And she had been in the real estate industry for a couple of years without a lot of success, Jada. And her name's Galen. And her boss, her broker, hired me to come in and help the team. And when I started talking to her, I said, Galen, let's talk through this. What's going on? Why are you not really reaching your potential? Because she had it. Have you ever talked to somebody and you're like, gosh, you have what it takes. You're just, right?
Absolutely.
And so after talking to her, I realized she had a limiting belief. And that limiting belief was that salespeople were grimy, used car salesmen, that adage, not that car salesmen altogether are this, but that mindset that you take advantage of people, you don't listen to people, etc. And so as we unpack that, one of the things that we did is I let her know that, hey, let's change your mindset. Let's understand that real sales is about serving other people, educating people, helping dreams come true, putting people at ease. And I said, what if you didn't think of yourself as a salesperson, but as an educator, a helper, a servant? And Jada, she was so excited. She was like, okay, I can do that. And as she did that, what we found is very quickly that first year, she went from only 2 transactions in the last year to she quadrupled her business. And within 2 years, I know this is crazy, within 2 years, she went from literally only earning, well, actually, I won't say what she earned, but she only sold about $200,000 to over $2 million.
Whoa.
I know, in a 2-year period, in a little less than 2-year period, strictly from changing her mindset. And so as we dig into this, I want you guys to realize there is something in our minds that are telling us we can't, or we have this belief, and it's stopping us from reaching our potential. And if that's you, and if that resonates with you, and maybe it's not what Galen was struggling with, but you have that thing, and I call it that monkey on your shoulder that tells you, you're not quite good enough, right? And I want to say one more story, if you don't mind. And
yeah, please do.
I know he's going to be listening. So this is about my husband, you guys.
Oh.
And we'll probably be talking about him throughout the story because he's just fun material. But so my husband, and I have his permission to talk about this. He, by the world standards, right? So he has a GED. And he is giving me that permission. And by the world standards, he processes slow. And the world has told him. So he had a teacher that told him in elementary school that he was the R word. Well, I don't want to say that word, but we guys know what the R word, right? It's not a compliment. And told him he wasn't going to amount to anything and that he should just go into special ed and give up. even told his mom, this guy is going to amount to nothing. Now, he lived with that. And he made some poor choices in life. And that's for him to tell. We'll interview him someday, and that will be fun on here. But he lived up to that in some capacity. And then finally, in his early 20s, he was introduced to somebody that really embraced personal development. And as he did, he started to see potential. And he started to see, maybe I can be more. And so he started going that path as well. And to make a very long story short that I'll let him explain someday, you guys, now, if you met him, you would never understand. You would be like, what? This guy is a man of men, and he is, frankly, respected among men because of the man he is. He took on me, which is not easy, but he also stood up to the challenge of being the father to my severely disabled daughter. And he also is extremely successful in business, and he is nothing like what that woman said. But it took him over almost 2 decades to come and no longer believe that limiting belief. So I want you to see these 2 stories of these people. One, life said, I don't want to be grimy like a salesperson. And the other one is somebody breathed a story into him. That's trauma, right? I mean, Jada, that's trauma, what Jerry experienced. And so I know there are listeners, you can relate to one of these stories. So what do we do, right? Jada and I are all about being practical, but Jada likes the details. I like the stories and the theatrics. She likes the details. So I'm going to hand it back over to her so she can give you guys some details.
Yeah, Athena, those stories are both great. And I think it just goes to show how much your mindset can impact what you think you're capable of, whether that's true or not. And I love stories, but I also am a sucker for the facts. So let's see what Psychology Today actually has to say about mindset. So Psychology Today states a mindset is a belief that orients the way we handle situations, the way we sort out what's going on and what we should do. Our mindset helps us spot opportunities, but they can also trap us into self-defeating cycles. So I think that really just supports the 2 stories you just talked about. And then Stanford Report even says Dr. Towery points out the impact of mindset on the effect of medications. There's a powerful phenomenon in medicine known as the placebo effect, in which if someone believes they're going to derive benefits from taking this particular medication, they often do. In fact, regardless of the disease or condition, about 30 to 40% of people can have significant improvement in their symptoms, even when taking the placebo or sugar pill, if they believe that pill is going to be helpful. So Towery encourages questioning self-defeating thoughts and creating new narratives that are more self-serving. So if you develop a growth mindset, setbacks can become learning opportunities, and there's always another chance to improve and feel better. And if our listeners want to read a little bit more about this too, we'll have the article linked below in the comments. But yeah, Athena, now that we have the facts, I'd love to hear some real talks and real strategies that you have for us.
All right. Well, I love that. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you're going to get that for them because I think it's important, right, to get the facts right. But this is where the rubber meets the road. And the one thing that we want to make sure in this podcast is that we give you practical tips. Jada and I, yes, we're all about motivating people and we want to inspire people and help you understand how fabulous you are. But we also want to give you some practical tips. And so I just want to go through these. How do we help change our mindset? 1, what you consume becomes you. I can't say that enough, you guys, what you consume. So what are you watching? What are you reading? What are you listening to? I'm going to leave it there. Ask yourself, what am I consuming? Is it helping me or is it feeding? So is it feeding that belief that you're capable or is it feeding that limiting belief? Ask yourself that. Another piece is morning routine. I know. For those of you who are new to me, I just got to tell you, I talk about routines. I need routines. But if you're not a morning person, you can do an evening routine. What we're talking about are bookends, ways to set yourself up for success. I'm a morning person, so personally, I do them in the morning. but it doesn't matter. What you're looking for is a routine that tells your brain, I'm already being successful, and setting yourself up. The other piece, and by the way, Jada and I will go deep into this on another podcast, but knowing your priorities. I can't emphasize this enough, very high level. Your priorities are those things that if you do not do them, your business or personal life would be destroyed. Think about that for a second. Now, again, we'll go deeper into that in another podcast, but we need to understand our priorities. Another tool that I want you guys to think of is a success journal. You're like, what is that? Well, don't worry. Jada and her team on our team is working to get one of those available to you. But here's the concept. I want you every single week to write down your wins. I want you to write them down so that you have to process that. And I want you to remember them. And when you're having a bad day, I want you to pull that journal out and remember how amazing you are. I don't care how small the victory is. You need to remind yourself. And again, we'll have another podcast in the future where we go down deep into that. And then be self-aware of what you're talking to yourself. Jada, right? I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
Right? We need to be careful. Be self-aware of what you're saying. Challenge those negative thoughts when you have that thought that says, you can't, you won't, you're not good enough, you don't have the right education. I mean, you guys, Jerry is one of the most successful salespeople Jada and I know.
Absolutely.
And he has a GED. You don't think that he has to, people tell him you're not good enough, but he's challenging those. And he's funny. I can't wait to have him on, you guys, because you'll find out he ain't worried about that no more.
No, he's got more confidence than probably anyone else I know.
I know. The other thing is we need to, in order to change our mindset, we need to be focusing on our health spiritually, mentally, and physically. So that's something to think about and just put in your toolbox here too. Evaluate your tribe. I'm going to really talk about this, but evaluate your tribe. The people around you, are they lifting you up? Are they encouraging? Are they making you question behaviors? Because you want to question the behavior so that you're scaling. So really think about that. And rest. I'm not really good at this one. So I'm talking to myself here. I'm not great at this one. But rest is part of healing. And it's good for your brain because it will help you actually have the creativity and the space to limit that belief. One of the things I'll say about rest is without it, you feed that limiting belief because you're tired. And then the other one, this one is, I'll end this with number 10, is connect with nature. Get out in nature. If you're a spiritual person, I am. I feel like when I'm in nature, that I'm communing with God. I love that. And then the other piece of this is connect with your inner child. I want to ask you, when was the last time you asked your inner self, that little kid in you, hey, what do you want to do today? And do it. All right. So you need to do those things will help you change your mindset. And I hope those are helpful. So those are top 10. What do you think of those, Jada?
Yeah, I think that's great. And something you said on, that self-awareness of how you speak to yourself and challenging the negative thoughts. I think those two go really hand in hand. And I know we'll talk about this in another podcast, but the first thing that popped into my mind whenever you said that was whenever I'm following up with people in the sales world is I have to constantly remind myself that I am not bothering them. I'm not a burden to them. They want me to follow up with them. But that's that negative belief of, hey, maybe I don't feel important or maybe I think I'm annoying to them, but really they want that interaction. And so I know we'll dive deeper into that, but that was honestly what made me think of that was just like really applicable in my day-to-day world.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. You guys, we're not just women that are talking the talk. We actually walk the walk. Jada and I have multiple businesses we're responsible for. And we do have home life. So we just want to let you know we're real. And so we will often use our own experiences to help you. So today, as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you so much for embarking on this incredible journey towards your goals. Remember, the path to success can be filled with challenges and obstacles. I think it's going to be critical. It's not Pollyanna. We're going to be honest about it. And it depends on an unwavering, focused, unshakable determination and relentless hard work. But rest assured, whether you're an individual, a business, or a team, or a company, or you possess the remarkable ability to turn your dreams into reality. And we want to be there with you because we believe in you. We think you're worth it. Your business is worth it. And you are not alone.
Absolutely. And, in not being alone, we would love you guys to join the Success Revolution. It's fueled by relationships, referral, and revenue to get weekly growth strategies to take control of your sales, revenue, and achieve your full potential. So really what that is, it's a weekly blog where Athena comes to us with more real talk and real strategies. So the link to subscribe to the weekly blog will be in the comments below. And next week, Athena will be bringing her real talk and real strategies as she joins us to discuss getting stuck in the mindset quicksand.
All right, great.
Yep,
Can't
we'll
wait.
see you guys next week.